Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing into part 10 of What If Goku was born as a Super Saiyan. If you haven't seen part 9, there is a title card where you can go check out and see what happened in the last part. But today we'll be going into the Saiyan God saga. How will the group deal with this new threat? Is the planet done for, or will Trunks arrive on time? Will the Saiyans be able to get the ritual done? And for those who are interested, I own a Discord server for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give us some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future I could do them. Now today's comment of the video is from Terry Owosu. His question is, what is your favorite technique in Dragon Ball? And I'm gonna be honest with you, my favorite technique, I hope I'm not mixing up technique with an attack, because I was thinking of Tien's Neo Tri-Beam when he used it against Semi-Perfect Cell. That whole scene was just really cool. And then when he used it against Nappa, even though it didn't do much to him, but still, like, I like that technique. I hope that's what they're referring to. But yeah, Tien's Neo Tri-Beam, that technique is my favorite. Bro, Tien is just a really cool human and he has really cool attacks. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Again, if you want your comment to be featured in the next video, just comment down a question you would like me to answer. It could be anything Dragon Ball related or personal, whatever you would like. And hopefully by the next video, maybe you'll be lucky enough where I will choose your comment to answer. Again, without further ado, let's dive into part 10 of What If Goku was born as a Super Saiyan. Babidi is glad with the outcome of the event, as now no one is able to stop him, as he commands Buu to kill off everyone. Buu would slowly walk up to Vegeta and the other Saiyans, preparing to transform them into chocolate, as he starts off with King Vegeta consuming him with a smile on his face, calling him yummy. He looks over to Vegeta, ready to do the same to him, but then Buu is cut in half with a surprise Destructo Disc by Trunks, as he would quickly rush over to Vegeta, giving him a Sensu Bean. With him being healed and gaining a massive Zenkai, he would quickly transform back into a Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and go on to the attack, holding off both Buu and Dabura. Trunks would fly over to give everyone a Sensu Bean. Once they all recovered, they see how Vegeta's new power is not enough to take out Buu, as whatever damage Vegeta does to Buu, he just regenerates back to full health. Raditz would ask Yamcha and Krillin to hold off Dabura and Buu for a short while, as they must do something so they could take out the threat. They would understand and would give them the time. Raditz would call over Vegeta and explain to him about the ritual, so they can give one of them the power of the Super Saiyan God. They think Vegeta should get it, but he refuses, saying he will not achieve power by others, so their next choice is Kakarot. They would all get together and pour their energy into Kakarot, as he would be lifted up and with a red blazing aura surrounds his body, as he would recognize it to be the same feeling when he fought Broly. Everyone was confused on how they cannot sense Kakarot's energy. Babidi gets a little worried, but he believed that Buu can handle it with no problem, so he would demand Buu to attack Kakarot. Their fight would begin and it would be very one-sided. Kakarot is on a whole new league that Buu cannot do anything to him. Kakarot would realize how strong he has gotten and would begin to mess with Buu, toying with him as if he was a joke. Babidi begins to get worried, so he would try to see if he could mind control any of the other Saiyans, as when he gets to look at Vegeta, he senses a little bit of evil on his mind. But before he can do anything, Vegeta teleports behind Babidi and kills him on the spot. Dabura, seeing how bad things would get, he would join Buu, trying to aid him with dealing with Kakarot. But even with the two fighting Kakarot, neither of them could do much against him. Everyone is shocked by the power that Kakarot has, as he is dealing with these threats as if they were nothing. Kakarot was starting to get bored, as these fighters weren't a true fight anymore, and would end it rather quickly. And once the threat was gone, they were all glad that it was over. Vegeta would end up eradicating all the evil Saiyans that survived, as he no longer wanted the Saiyans to have a bad reputation, and he found all these other Saiyans disgraceful. Vegeta would also shout at Kakarot, saying that he is still stronger, as he obtained a form of power on his own, which Kakarot would just giggle at. The humans thanked the Saiyans for the save, but they all thanked Trunks, as if he didn't get those magical beans, they would have been in trouble. Everyone was curious on how strong Kakarot has gotten with this new form, and even he was curious, so he had everyone try to fight him. But even with the combined force of everyone, it was not anything to him. Even with the Super Saiyan, a Saiyan Prime, which what Vegeta will call his form, and Yamcha in his ultimate form, the humans are kind of bummed that they thought they found a way to catch up to the Saiyans, but they need to train a lot more to catch up further. The Supreme Kai allowed them to continue their training with him on his planet, as to show his gratitude for their help. Raditz did tell Yamcha about his and Kakarot's kid, Bardock Jr. and Jaima, as they could be good friends with Trunks, and even train together, as it would be good for their kids to train together. Yamcha thought about it, and it would be nice, and would like for them to join them to train with the Supreme Kai. Eventually, Kakarot would lose the form of the Super Saiyan God and would return back to base, and everyone thought he lost the power, but even though he is back to normal, they still cannot sense his energy, which is weird. They would return back to their planet. Also, I would like to say that now the planet is no longer Planet Vegeta, but Planet Bardock, after his sacrifice he made to save everyone and the planet. To continue on with their lives, Kakarot and Raditz would tell their kids about this nice potential way to grow stronger and meet another kid with great potential. This is where we are introduced to Jaima, Kakarot's son, and Bardock Jr., Raditz' son. At this point, they're around the same age as Trunks, and the cousins even share a birthday together, but they are two completely different types of Saiyans. Growing up, Jaima was very cocky and had this sense of superiority, learning about how special his father was, being the first Super Saiyan. This gave him the idea of thinking highly of himself. He considered himself to be the best, but it did drive him to always train hard. Every day, he wouldn't slow down, wanting to be special like his father, and he did show great strength, but also was very furious. He even gave the scar that Bardock Jr. has on one of his eyes during a training session, as he pushed Bardock Jr., wanting him to be strong as well. Jaima was always angry at Bardock Jr. with how he is, since he is the son of the king, and named after their grandfather who saved their entire planet and race. With Bardock Jr., he is a lot more tamer compared to Jaima. He is someone like Tarble, with not being a big fighter, but knows when he has to fight when the time comes. He constantly has this weight on his shoulders that he needs to work hard to live up to the person he was named after. With also being the son of the king, he is always stressed with trying his best and growing to be strong, as he feels like he has a big responsibility to live up to. Plus, his name is also the name of the planet, which doesn't help him calm down either. He would have the headband that Bardock wore wrapped around his wrist as a reminder of his goals and what he feels like he must beat. Growing up, they would both always bicker and be against each other, but whenever the time would come that they need to work together, they would do so without flaw. After they told their kids about this opportunity, they would both have different thoughts. Bardock Jr. wasn't too sure about it, but Jaima was excited, as he expected these fighters to be crazy strong to train under, as they would both be sent off to planet Earth to meet with these fighters. After a bit, they would end up arriving on planet Earth and being met with the Z fighters. Seeing how kind they were, Bardock Jr. was actually happy to be there, as he felt no pressure that he did back on planet Bardock, and was looking forward to what he could learn from these fighters. Meanwhile though, Jaima was very upset, as he sensed that their power levels wasn't that impressive, as he knew his father and the others were a lot stronger than them. He didn't understand why his father sent him off to a weaker planet, and was quite upset about this journey. He showed his disapproval, not giving these fighters the respect they deserve, which got Trunks upset, as they would begin to bicker. This would eventually break out into a fight, as Trunks would go into his ultimate form and begin brawling it out with Jaima. This fight is on Jaima's side at first, as he begins to get cocky, calling Trunks weak, until for a brief moment, Trunks would stack Kaioken ×5 with his ultimate form to strike Jaima, and this would send him crashing into a mountain, as he would get up furious. Bardock Jr. tried to calm him down, but to no avail, as Jaima would rush at Trunks, and now being in a full rage mode, Trunks used this against him. Tossing him around and being the smarter fighter, he would get the edge on Jaima. Yamcha would break up the fight and begin explaining to Jaima that power isn't everything, and that if he wanted to be a good fighter and surpass his father, he must learn that first. Jaima shrugged it off and walked away, and turned his back on them. Yamcha and Krillin could tell that this would be a tough student to teach, but nevertheless, they would all travel to the Supreme Kai's planet to continue their training. With the Saiyans, after the major boost Kakarot has gotten, he believed that it was time to truly get into training and have everyone learn the Super Saiyan form. Vegeta would not really focus on the Super Saiyan form anymore, as he has his Saiyan Prime form. Turles would join in Vegeta trying to obtain the same form as he has, as he can control his grade 8 form pretty well. But Tarbles and Broly, they would go with the Super Saiyan route, as they cannot control their grade 8 form too well. Raditz would train Tarbles, while Kakarot would train Broly, since in case Broly does lose control, Kakarot would be strong enough to take him on. After a few months, Turles and Tarbles would be able to transform into their respective forms that they were aiming for. But when it came to Broly, it took a lot more. Kakarot did notice that there's something more in Broly than the average Super Saiyan power. Vegeta just scoffs at Kakarot, calling him a bad teacher, and would begin threatening Broly and being harsh towards him, as he would beat on him without holding back. In his Akari form, Broly wasn't standing a chance against a Saiyan Prime Vegeta. In similar fashion to what Vegeta did to push Kaba in the anime, he would use the same tactic on Broly. He continues to push Broly to his limits, trying to get him to the edge. The others began to worry as they sensed Broly's power level as he began to skyrocket faster and faster, but Kakarot was on standby in case things would go sideways. Vegeta kept pushing until he began to see a light emitting from Broly, as when he would shoot a ki blast right at Broly, it would explode on impact, because a huge explosion. Vegeta was caught off guard, not thinking that that blast would have caused that much damage, until he saw a bright green aura rushing right at him. It was Broly, and he achieved the Super Saiyan transformation, or so they think. His look is completely different, with having a green aura instead of yellow one, and his body all bulky. He completely loses control and begins to beat down on Vegeta. The others instantly jump in action. Now needing to control Broly, the others point out on how they can no longer sense his power level, which Kakarot would state that he can, and then he would realize that Broly has tapped into God Ki. With the training that he did with Kakarot and being around God Ki a lot, Broly has obtained his own God Ki. They would all begin to jump Broly, but even with their newfound power, Broly was just overpowering all of them with no problem. Kakarot can sense that his power just continues to rise, as he would begin powering up and even tap back into the Super Saiyan God transformation. As he would jump in and begin pushing Broly back, he would try to contain Broly and calm him down, but Broly was not being held back, as he would slowly force himself towards Kakarot. But the others would attack Broly, but even then, they could not hold him back. This pushes Raditz to the brink, as he would go past his limits, and without him even knowing, he would tap into the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, attacking Broly with all the power he has, and this manages to stun him a little, and gives Kakarot the chance to prepare an attack that he used to knock out Broly, as he would fall over back into his base form. Everyone would power down exhausted, but surprised in the power that Broly has. Raditz was quite upset with Vegeta as he did put everyone in danger, but Vegeta did say that they did have him unlock the Super Saiyan form, even if it's something entirely different. He does say that he should take Broly to mirrors as he can help him be able to control this power that he has now. And others will agree that it would be the best. Vegeta and Broly would prepare to head off back to Mirrors and the Galactic Patrol, as the rest who stayed would continue on training. Back on the Supreme Kai's planet, the training everyone has been doing has been very beneficial. Bardock Jr. and Trunks have grown to be good friends and rivals. Bardock Jr. really enjoyed the training with these Earthlings, as he has taken a lot from their fighting styles, techniques, and way of battle. Meanwhile, Jaima was somewhat on the other end. He definitely grew stronger than the other two since he has mainly been sparring against Krillin, and with his never-ending stamina, Jaima was able to fight him anytime he pleased. Krillin was also much stronger than Yamcha, and Jaima grew a lot with all their sparring matches. Still, he only found Krillin useful to make him grow stronger, and once he surpasses him, he plans to go back to his planet to train with his father. The kids would fight against each other sometimes, but it came to having to be a 2-on-1, since how much stronger Jaima has become compared to the other two. But the score would be even, with sometimes Jaima winning as he would overpower them, but also sometimes Bardock Jr. and Trunks would outsmart Jaima using techniques and strategy to take him down. This would upset Jaima as he still find out that strategy is dumb, and still having the mindset that as long as he's stronger, no one could best him in battle. Yamcha and Krillin would try to explain to Jaima how he should be trying to grow stronger, but Jaima still finds them below him. Jaima kept growing angry at them, and would eventually try to attack Krillin, but with not being strong enough, he would just fly away from everyone wanting to be alone. Yamcha was kind of disappointed on how Kakarot's kid turned out to be, but Bardock Jr. would step in defending Jaima, explained that Jaima only wanted to get strong to be like his father, as Kakarot as a baby was born as a Super Saiyan, and since he wasn't the same, he felt like he wasn't as good as his father, and that he has the need to be more like him. Away in a faraway planet, we see a purple cat sleeping, until we hear the voice saying, "My lord, it's time to wake up." We are introduced to both Beerus and Whis, as Beerus will wake up quite upset, demanding Whis to explain why he is woken up much earlier than what his timer is for. Whis would explain to Beerus that the Super Saiyan God has appeared earlier than what was expected. This instantly gets Beerus to wake up, excited to hear this news, and demands where the Saiyan is. Whis would explain that he's on a planet Bardock, formerly known as Planet Vegeta, which shocked Beerus as he could have sworn that he told Frieza to destroy that planet, but even then, Beerus would just smile excitedly, asking to know more about the Super Saiyan God. And that's where we're gonna leave it up for now. Tell me how y'all think about the 10th part and how it did with the Saiyan God saga. How will the showdown between Beerus and Kakarot go down? Will he be able to satisfy Beerus with his current strength? How do y'all think about everyone's own path to power? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part. See ya.